what? I've done it! Oh, can you believe it? The reason I'm so excited is because I think I finally figured out the right Batsuit conveyor design to allow me to do something expansive and huge, just like the Batsuit conveyor shown in the Lego Batman movie. This thing is enormous. I think it was based off of a real dry cleaning conveyor. These things are crazy. They move hundreds and hundreds of garments super fast all around a dry cleaning building. They're crazy. And it was the perfect idea to put in this Lego Batman movie. I've been obsessed with this scene for a long time. For the last couple years, I've been working on Batsuit conveyors on and off. The first Batsuit conveyor that I built, I'm pretty proud of it, but the core mechanic has always bothered me, as it's more of a merry-go-round than a conveyor. It's basically one big wheel that spins around in a circle, and the Batsuits are attached to the edge of that wheel. It creates the illusion of a Batsuit conveyor, but like I say, it's more like a merry-go-round, and I don't really think that a merry-go-round has a place in a Batcave. I may change my mind on that. This one is my latest. I came up with this idea about a week ago. Before that, I was working on a pretty complex but modular and expandable and scalable solution. This more complex Batsuit conveyor worked pretty good. It's moving in 3 dimensions essentially because it's going around on a circle and then on an edge and then up and then back. It's a pretty cool proof of concept, but I never got it to work super reliable, and it's going to be very expensive and time consuming to build out at a large scale. So that had me thinking about other ideas, and I went back to the basics to some extent. Here you can see that the official Lego Batman Batcave set that has Batsuit conveyor uses a similar idea. It takes tank tread and attaches the Batsuits to it. That's all I've done with this new design. It's just attach Batsuits to a tank tread. The difference is size. This one's a little bigger, but I think it can be even much bigger. The other difference is that the tank tread is facing the viewer and the Batsuits are attached to the side of it. This is required because of the nature of the official Lego part that was used in this. The tank tread I'm using for this design is actually from a wonderful book I read about a year ago. This book described how to build this custom tank tread to use in tanks, of course. The tank tread is pretty cool. It takes a ton of parts, but it's pretty simple to build. It only takes 3 parts. It takes an axle, a lift arm, and a connector. But you're going to need a lot of parts if you want to build a tread of any length. And that's really the only negative with this design, in my opinion. Once you've constructed the tank tread, the nature of it is really great for this use because it is easy to attach an axle or a pin to the side of the tank tread, which is just not possible with the official part used for tank treads that Lego makes, which is why the official build is done the way it is done. But this custom tank tread design allows you to put the Batsuits on the edge, giving you a nice clean aesthetic where you barely see the tread being used to move the Batsuits around. Let's do a teardown and take a closer look. The motor's connected to the wheels at the top. There's no need to power the bottom ones, but I do power both these wheels. Otherwise, the tread can get bunchy at the top. So here's the tread with the Batsuits attached. And as you can see, this is the arbitrary shape that I'm talking about. You can do anything. You just build a structure with the wheels in the shape that you like, and the Batsuits will just move along it. I can't wait to play with this at a larger scale and make some more interesting shapes. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if you want to see what I come up with next. Let's take this other small tread off and take a closer look at the structure. There's nothing too interesting or complex about this structure. I did end up making it strong after I lifted it when my daughter spilled a bunch of milk on the kitchen table and I had to lift it in a hurry. I smashed it and blew it up into a million pieces. So I rebuilt it stronger, using not just supports, but lift arms to lock them in place. So now I can pick it up however I want whenever I have a serial accident in the morning. The other important thing about the structure is the base. The nature of this build requires that the tank tread is on the face of the structure and clear of the rest of the frame. And that puts all the weight on the front. That makes it very unstable and it wants to tip and fall forward. But with these legs on the bottom, I built them pretty strong and rigid. It's quite stable now. And the motors on the back help a little bit just to balance it back out. I have the motors geared down quite a bit so that it moves slow, so that the viewer can see the Batsuits moving around and it's not just a blur and they're not just wiggling around. The faster you go, the more they tend to wiggle. Well, that's about it. Thanks for watching.